There are currently over 1,000 Pokemon that exist in the Pokemon franchise, and with Gen 10 right around the corner, we're expecting a whole lot more. With so many Pokemon that exist, it's hard to figure out how they interact in their environments with one another. But the Pokédex entries in the games tell us a little bit more info. Welcome to my series, Everything Science About, where I talk about the science of anything and everything. Today, we're going to explore symbiotic relationships in Pokemon. If you're not familiar with the term, symbiotic relationships basically describe a bond or an agreement with at least two different distinct species that closely interact, with at least one of them benefiting from this agreement. I'm going to talk about 3 different types of these relationships that we see in the Pokemon franchise. If you've played any competitive Pokemon in Gen 9, then you're familiar with the pair, Dondozo and Tatsugiri. These are an example of a mutualistic relationship because they both benefit. When they're both on the field at the same time, Tatsugiri is eaten by Dondozo. But this isn't a bad thing. While inside Dondozo, it provides protection to Tatsugiri so it can't be killed, while in the meantime providing a stat boost to Dondozo. Another close relationship in the Pokemon franchise is Mantine and Remoraid. Now this is a more neutral agreement that we call commensalism. Remoraid attaches itself to Mantine so it feeds while it's swimming throughout the several oceans in the Pokemon world. While this doesn't really provide a benefit to Mantine, it's not really a negative either. Just a minor inconvenience having a little fish attached to you. Now let's talk about the negatives of these relationships. Let's talk about parasitism. And while we don't really have many examples of Pokemon on Pokemon parasitism, there is a very clear example of a Pokemon experiencing parasitism all the time. Can you guess? Paras is basically a bug that has this fungi growing on it that is slowly taking over its mind. And after it evolves into Parasect, you can see its behavior change drastically because that mushroom has fully taken over. While Paras and Parasect are the hosts, they don't benefit at all and eventually lose themselves in this process while the parasitic fungi continues to benefit. And if you see the dialogue in Pokopia about this, it just makes it even sadder. Can you think of any other symbiotic relationships in Pokemon? If you can, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear more.